Welcome, everyone, to the Cool Guy Podcast. This is your host, Marvin G. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I already lost track of how many episodes we're in, but I do believe that we're going to have to start a new season. So season 1 is officially going to be coming to a close, and that is exciting because last week I mentioned that I was going to have a new co-host, and guess who's in front of me? My new co-host. So let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go ahead and get this going. Let me introduce to you my new co-host, Caroline Guerra de Alvarizares, as my in-laws would say. Carol, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Now, I'm going to be referring to her as Babe, okay? Because that is the lingo that we use when we're talking to one another. But you all will refer to her as Caroline, unless you are instructed otherwise. So anyways, welcome to the Cool Guy Podcast. I wasn't really sure how to do this because initially when you said that you wanted to do this with me, it wasn't a very flattering idea because in my head it didn't fit the script. But talking about it, it's like, no, I think we can make this work. So I think it's going to change the dynamic. I think it's going to change the audience. It's going to change the direction of the podcast. Maybe even change the name, but we'll see. We'll leave those things.
You can put like the Cool Guy Podcast and his.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely excited to have you on now because we're going to be able to talk about a lot of different things that we normally talk about when the microphones are not on. And I feel like we have some good conversations about certain things, parenting. We have conversations about being husband and wife, and just conversations about life in general, finances and dreams and all of that. So I guess my hope is that through this podcast, people can identify or relate in some way to things to normal things. Like we don't consider ourselves to be by any means famous. I don't consider myself to be the most knowledgeable, but I know that God has definitely given us wisdom. I mean, we've been married 11 years. We're going to be married 12 years.
It's just 11 years right now. Like we just turned.
Yeah, but at the end of this year, which is already flying by, we're going to be married for 12 years.
We're already in February.
Like, that's crazy. So
crazy. We're going to have a 10-year-old.
oh my God, we're going to have a 10-year-old daughter.
Double
Like,
digits.
that's going to be, that's a milestone. So,
like, we've kept her alive for 10
yeah,
years.
like, I used to think, like, man, like, well, I mean, obviously, we still have a 3-year-old, and she depends on us, not completely anymore, but she still depends on us. But, like, if we were to go drop her off in the desert, she would die because she wouldn't know what to do for herself. So, we have kept these children alive, number one, by the grace of God, but secondly, because we've done something right, I guess.
I mean, half of the time I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah.
All right. So anyways, let's I feel like a lot of people maybe haven't been seeing you as much as before. And what I mean by that is,
I've been.
yeah, you have taken a break from social media. So why don't you talk about that? What provoked all of this?
I made this decision super late last year, December. Even like, I think 2 days before the new year, I don't even think I mentioned it to you. I don't even think I talked to you or like, hey, by the way, I'm thinking of this, because I was really wanting to make sure that it was something that I wanted to do for myself. I feel like a lot of times people that take time off social media, first of all, like they'll post, hey, I'm taking time off social media.
That's so true.
And then it brings up people like, hey, why? And then people start, at least for me, I'm like, wait, what happened? What happened?
Que pecado. What sin happened?
Get chisme. Like, why aren't they on here anymore? But it truly was something that I wanted to do for myself. I found myself just mindlessly scrolling. Like, there was nights where I would go to bed at a decent hour and then find myself awake at a not decent
So you were that
hour.
wife on TikTok where she goes to bed and they're laying in bed together and she's sending the husband TikToks that she wants him to watch.
100%.
That was you. Yeah,
100%.
she was.
Yes, because that's at night is when, well, here's my situation. I was trying to convince myself that I was only doing it at night. But then I would find myself like, okay, if the girls were occupied, I would just be mindlessly scrolling. And it wasn't even like looking for people or seeing what people were doing, but it was just like reels,
Right.
TikToks, just videos
I think
of
I
nonsense.
think that's a good point because I think a lot of the time that we spend on Instagram really isn't to see what everyone else is doing. Like I'm on there mainly to see updates, maybe like, oh, cool, they're here or they're doing that. But it's more about the reels and finding something that's gonna
Right.
make you laugh, something that you can identify and that is relatable
Yeah.
to you.
Well, and then I wasn't necessarily like, I don't feel like I was a good like story poster. Like I wasn't posting too much on my stories, but a sense of me thought like, okay, my followers need me every day. So I would try to, you know how they say like show up for your like followers. But the reality is that like nobody really cares that I've been gone.
Well,
so,
I think,
because I didn't
quote
tell
unquote,
anybody.
I'm doing the air quotes, but okay, why do you feel like nobody cares?
Okay, because for example, nobody has reached out and said, like, "Hey, I haven't seen you on
good
here.
point,
Like,
okay.
are you sick? Are you okay? Like, do you need something?" I mean, I guess in my head, it's like if I was in quote unquote like important to my followers, you know, that's just how in your mind you think. Like, okay, you have these followers and you're so important to them, but reality is that everybody has their own life, and you're just another one. So, but I've been off of social media since literally what was it 12
Since midnight
o'clock?
on January 1st.
January 1st. I logged out of everything, erased the apps, even TikTok, even Lemonade. I had like all of the things on
What's
my phone.
Lemonade?
That was that new. It was like literally there's like an.
I've never even heard of this.
8.
Okay, do I need to download this? What was I missing out on?
Well, it's like the new Pinterest
okay.
type thing, but it's like social media, and people were getting super fancy
What?
on it. I know, and
Let me
then
look this up as we talk.
the for real. I was on everything, and
Here I was still
like
stuck
I-
on.
you're still
I'm
stuck on
still stuck on Instagram,
Like, you
and I
don't-
try to
de ahí
use
no
Be
pasas.
Real, and every now and then I still go into Facebook just because it's there. I try to use Threads. Okay, so I'm looking at my phone right now, and I have Instagram, I have Threads, I have Facebook.
still have Threads.
Huh?
People still use Threads.
I don't know. I don't know. I have
Okay.
TikTok and I have Be
I could be
Real
so off.
and WhatsApp. I don't think that
Yeah,
really counts,
WhatsApp.
but and yeah, out of all of these, Instagram by far is the one that I use the most. Like that is
Okay, so they say that Instagram is like the new Facebook, like it's like dying out.
Oh really?
Like right now, it's like TikTok.
For real?
Well, that's when I was on social media. Like, I don't know, so much can change.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, Lemonade. I'm gonna
Like
look into that now.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, but anyways, the point is, like I said, I was just mindlessly scrolling and looking into different stuff, and just wasting my time. So I decided, you know what? I felt peace in my heart about it, and I think there was a few families, like influencers. I told you this, right? That I even asked if you could follow them so you could
Oh,
give me
gosh.
the update.
Which I didn't.
But because one of them is pregnant and she had it, you know, like I wanted to see how.
And
her
did you feel
pregnancy
like
was
she
going.
needs you in order for her to keep, living her life?
Okay, and you see, when I want to say addicted to
And
social
maybe
media,
it was an addiction.
Well, okay, hold on, because
Okay.
I have something else to share. But when I was like addicted, I was on her page, just scrolling and scrolling, and I mean, looking, like waiting for her story because I wanted to see what was next. Like, okay, what else are they doing? Neglecting, not really neglecting, but
Yeah,
when I had my
neglecting
own
your
kids
family,
here.
your husband, who you wouldn't feed. That's not
Okay,
true.
okay.
Anyways,
But I do feel like I had to go through a withdrawal, like
a detox.
a detox. And I think I pinpointed it when. Do you remember that night that you like went to Walgreens and you called me and I was just like so annoyed? I was.
That's
like,
every time. I'm just kidding.
Wow, you're making me look really bad.
So what happened though?
But you were like on your way home I think it was a Tuesday. I was in bed and I was just annoyed.
Yeah, I
like,
kind of remember that.
just
Yeah.
and you called me and I just like you'd figure it out, blah blah blah. And I even told you after I hung up, I texted you and I said, I don't even know why I'm so annoyed, like why I feel this way. But I really do feel that was like January 3rd, like 2 days after I had stopped being on social media. But I do feel like I had to go through a detox because I was just irritated for like 2-3 days, and then I got over it. So I do feel like it was.
So now, how do you feel 2 months in?
Okay, so every now and then I ask you like anything new on
Yeah.
social media,
Which I don't think I should tell you because you're not on social media. So
which I don't really mind. I don't really mind that you don't tell me. I definitely don't know what's going on around the world, for sure.
it's
Like-
nothing new. It's all
No
Yeah.
new, because I would get my news from TikTok. Like, I would get my news from TikTok.
But if you went to a news source, would you consider that being on social media?
well, like last time when we went to the
Uh-huh.
ICE thing, like I had to like
Oh, okay.
kgw.com
But that's not.
and like
I don't think that's social media. Carol's social media now is the neighborhood. Okay, so we have a Ring as a doorbell, right? And if you have a Ring, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But there, with the Ring subscription comes, or with the Ring product, you can get a subscription of a neighborhood. What do you call it? It's not an app because it's just notifications.
oh, it's the Ring.
So
app.
basically, it's notifications or a group that everyone that has a Ring doorbell, they're all a part of this neighborhood thing. And they're constantly posting things on there. And I tease Carol that's her new social media thing.
Well, I'm so invested in what's going on in our neighborhood.
But it's
now.
not just our
Like,
neighborhood. Like, it's just another outlet
no,
for
it's-
chisme or gossip for those of you that don't speak Spanish.
Okay, but no, I mean, yeah, like I'll go on there like at least twice a day to just like, hey, what are my neighbors doing? Or
But
like,
they're so
whatever.
funny,
But-
man. Like I had to not delete. I had to mute the notifications because during the power outage, it was like my power just went out. My power just went out. Everyone's talking about their power going out or how long it's, and it's like, okay, like how is this solving the issue of your power being out? You should be conserving your battery for your phone instead of letting us
Yeah,
know
you did say that.
every
You did
2 hours that your power is still out.
Not even every 2 hours. For like 2 hours, it was every like 5 minutes.
It was just ridiculous.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyhow.
but how do I feel now? I feel fine. I feel right now I don't necessarily like miss it, quote unquote. Like I'm not looking like, okay, I can't wait to go back to it. I feel fine. I do feel like I have filled in that time with other things. Just overall, like I'm almost done reading a book.
Oh, wow.
Which I was
A
very,
month
I'm
in and
very
you're almost done reading a
bad-
book.
I know. I'm really bad at reading, so that is like a big accomplishment for me. Just being, more time with the girls, but actually being
Present.
there versus just being a body. And then just not like on my phone. And I think the way I prove it to myself is, on Sundays you get like that screen time
Yeah.
notification on your phone where it says like, so it'll say your screen time went down. The first night it was like 86%. I know. I know.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
intense.
So, do you think you're gonna go
So,
back at some point? Like, is this something that is like, hey, temporary? Did you have a goal in mind for how long you wanted to do it?
Well, my goal was the year.
No, the whole year. Oh, dang.
Yeah. And I think
I
right
should
now-
have put in the qualifications for a co-host somebody that is active on social media because I
Why?
needed you to repost and tag and like put it out there.
Does that stuff really work though?
Nah, I don't
Exactly.
think so. I mean, anyways.
Well,
yeah.
I do log on actually rarely now with our CNJ one, but Jen does that. And if I really have to look at something, she'll say like, "Hey, can you answer this or blah blah." But she also knows that I'm not on there, but if you find a funny reel, you can send it to me through there.
You can send it through a text message.
Or like my mom, she sends it to you to show to me.
My mother-in-law is constantly sending me something that says "Show Carol," and it's like at the most random times, right? It's when I'm at work or when I'm preaching on Sunday. No, I'm just kidding. But she'll send me "Show Carol," and then like sometimes I do forget, sometimes I do remember, or eventually I'll remember. But yeah, if you want to do that, if you have something funny that you want to show my wife,
I think
you
that's
can send it to
maybe
me.
the most I miss is like the funny videos or just like
The memes.
the reels, the
Yeah,
memes.
alright.
Yeah, those are pretty. But I'm surviving.
Good. I'm glad that people are interested in that update since they care about you so much, right? Well, okay, but for real though, what if somebody does want to reach out to you? What's the best way to do it? Okay, text me. So you can send me a message
Email
if you really
me.
want to reach out to Carol for whatever reason. If something that is being said is resonating with you, whether you know her or you don't know her, but you have more questions about this, you can always send me a direct message on the Cool Guy Podcast, the Instagram, and then I will relay that message for you. So, all right, cool. Anyways, one other thing that you just mentioned was C&J. How's that going? Why don't you talk to us a little bit about C&J? Because the last time on my podcast, I talked about wanting to have people on that are kingdom-minded and are either entrepreneurs or they're in the field of a line of work or whatever where, we can put them out there so that other people can benefit from it. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
you and
I can't talk about it without my partner.
okay,
I'm
wow,
just kidding.
that's hardcore right there.
Because I'm only the C and I need the J.
Okay, well let's
but,
start there. C&J, what does that stand for?
Caroline. And
Okay,
Jen
so it's just your names put together.
are
Here I
initials.
thought like it was something so profound like Christ and Jesus,
Spiritual.
but it's not.
It could be that too. It could be that too. No. So this this idea surged because I was looking for a permanent jewelry place to go to. Like for Mother's Day, I wanted to go with my mom, with our girls, and get a permanent bracelet. But there was nothing around. So I was looking permanent jewelry near me, blah blah blah.
But
nothing
where
was
did
coming
this
up.
permanent jewelry? How did you even come
Okay.
across this?
Track way back the influencer?
Okay.
Yes. So she took her family, and I was like, she influenced me. I wanted to do that. There was nothing around me. Kate Jewelers
Yeah.
was coming up. Shane Co was coming up. Nothing else. So since I was doing Annie's bracelet boutique.
Oh,
back
that's
then,
right. And man, that thing
with
died
the
too, right?
beads. Okay, it didn't die. It's
It's making a comeback.
coma.
Breaking
It's in a
news.
coma.
Oh.
No, it's in a coma. It's just, yeah. I need to organize my stuff. Anyway, but me and Annie would bead bracelets and sell them handmade, and I thought this could be a good add-on. But I reached out to Jen because she is a lot more patient than me, and very good with I don't know, dainty
Yeah.
things. Very, we could be very opposite.
And those
on
of you that don't know, Jen is
my
your
brother's wife,
sister-in-law.
so
Yeah,
my
she's
sister-in-law.
family. So,
Yes.
anyways, continue.
Anyway, but so that's where this idea happened, and she hadn't heard of it, so I started sending her all
TikTok?
the information, a bunch of TikToks, and I told her I think we could do this. I think we would be great, and she talked to my brother. She's like, let's go. So it took us a little bit to actually pull the plug
And do
and get the right machine. We tried to go the cheaper route and get this machine that reviews said it was blowing up. It could blow up. So we got all the right stuff, and it's been going.
a year now, no?
It's been a year, almost.
And-
a year and a half. Oh yeah, because it was a year in October.
So, yeah, almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year and a half, where we had our first event, and then we've just been, we do markets, we do private events, and we do house calls, and we travel to you if you want, jewelry, and we have been very slow this last month. I think we were busy in December. This month was
Yeah.
slow, but we're picking up.
Everybody's
again
budgeting for
rest
the
of
year.
I think so. There's no spend January, dry January, all this stuff where people in resolutions, but we're picking up, and we'll be busy again in February and the rest of the year. So
All right, and I think one of the other things that I want is how are you using C&J how are you using C&J as a kingdom-minded business? What are you doing that's different from any other permanent jewelry in that particular sense?
Well, okay. I think personally, I'm going to speak for myself. Every event I go to, I'm constantly speaking tongues in my mind. And I feel like that's just an advantage there. We have went to some events and I'm like, what are we doing here? This is weird. These type of people, it's It's sketchy.
What do you mean by these type of? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's like sketchy. Like I went to one where it was like I was surrounded by homeless people. It smelled like marijuana. I was like, what are we doing here? But in that moment, I just opened myself to whatever God is like.
Yeah.
Use me, even if it's selling bracelets and jewelry. But I think in any moment, like I'm willing to pray for the people. I'm willing to preach. I'm willing to just listen. Sometimes people come and they just talk, and you're just that listening ear that they need. When I'm welding on or measuring, like I'm speaking over their life, like blessing, Lord, protect them, Lord. Sometimes, yeah, I think that's how personally how I feel like I'm, sharing
and I think
Jesus.
it's so important because last week I shared a story of something that happened to me at work where this guy was like, calling me this and calling me that. And he was like, there is power in words. Like there is no doubt about it. The Bible says that we have the ability to speak life or death by the words that we say. So I was thinking like, man, like what else was this guy saying over my life because he was upset, because he was agitated. And yeah, like I think the fact that you're taking advantage of an opportunity where a person doesn't even know and you're praying for this person. And I mean, who knows? Maybe God will give you something specific for that person. And man, you can totally change their life around, right?
Yes, and we've also gotten invited to some like ministries where because we are, Christian women,
kingdom-minded, yeah.
Business owners, kingdom-minded. And that has been a huge blessing too, because we just speak the same language, But,
didn't you like put a bracelet on somebody that? Who you went to?
Yes.
Real Talk Kim, yeah.
Yes. We met her at a women's conference, and I told Jen like we have to talk to her, we have to meet her, and Jen got a book, so we were in line waiting for her to sign it, and we got connected, and like. I literally was like, can I put a bracelet on you? And she's so nice. She's like, yes, of course. Oh my gosh. So there we were. Like I ran across the whole sanctuary running with our little crate thing that we have. And Jen's holding the light and I'm sweating because I'm nervous. But yeah, she's really
awesome.
Nice.
So if somebody wants to look up C&J on Instagram, it's C&J Permanent Jewelry. C_J at... No, wait. Let's try this again.
What? Okay. C_J Permanent Jewelry is our Instagram
Okay, great.
handle.
And then that's where they can do everything. They can book through there, send a message.
Send us a message,
give a
text
testimonial, whatever.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I just wanted to introduce who the new voice is going to be. And I hope by the next episode we can start video casting too so that you can actually see us.
Whoa.
It's in the contract. It's the small print that you probably ignored. So anyways.
All I asked for was
yeah. But anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Remember to follow us on Instagram, like and share, and subscribe either to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Those are the platforms I think that most people are using, but it's available on like Google Play. There's just a bunch of different places where you can listen to the Cool Guy Podcast. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in again. God bless you. I hope that you have a blessed week. And thank you for supporting up until now. And like I said, I'm not really sure where this is going to go, but I do believe that it's going to go somewhere good. And I feel like our audience is going to grow. Thank you so much for all of you that send me a message or a text message, supporting. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And we'll see you guys next week. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right.